We are going to record this particular episode of today, Education on Pack and Study Online. Want to welcome back again to our channel. If you are joining us for the first time, we encourage you to subscribe to this channel. If you are looking to study online, if you're following one of any other online courses in any part of the world, or what kinds of degrees you're looking for. Today, I just wanted to have a general conversation with regards to studying online, especially during the pandemic period. And more importantly, I will look into some few things, topics on why you should be making this decision at the moment and how you go about doing these selections. So it's important that we will have this, I'm going to be having this conversation with you. It's been a while since we post video on our channel. So I want to thank you again for joining us wherever in the world you're watching me from. If you are studying online or you're planning to pursue an online course or you're doing an online degree at the moment, we shall be coming up with a new episode in the next couple of days and weeks that we will be exploring in details, taking qualifications and breaking them into understandable parts so you have a clear picture as to making an informed decision. So I'm going to be looking into that. But today, I just wanted to give you an overview. I know that you've been watching some of my videos. Please share the video and also subscribe so we continue to build this channel. What we're going to be talking about today, we shall be talking about the transition or the transformation that's taking place in the academic environment. That is why people are moving online to study now than ever before. And what are the choices that are out there, and how do you go about all of these decisions? So that's something we should be talking about today. So I want to thank you for joining me, and it's your first time, I want to welcome you. Today, first of all, we are looking at how the education landscape has transformed. It's important to know that a couple of years ago, you wouldn't imagine that there will be this huge transition from the standard campus studies to basically people moving to study online. It's important that there's been a huge shift recently. And also, you would notice that most universities around the world are beginning to kind of like uh, invest hugely in terms of online learning. For those students who are living in different parts of the world, in this case, they're living within the continent of Africa, in Asia, or in the United States, or within Europe, wherever you are, studying an online course at this time, it brings lots of advantages. So we will dig deep into that in a moment. Also, just so you know, the coronavirus has changed things. Things never going to be the same again. For those of you who were considering to travel to study, because if you look at those universities, most of the schools that offer huge online study program, like in the US and Europe, specifically in the UK, you will notice that most universities now are moving online, and you realize that the lockdown has been affecting regular study on campuses. Of course, campus will come up again, no doubt. However, online is leading at the moment. So if you're a working professional who plan to advance your career, develop your skills, move to the next level of your career development, it's important for you to consider taking one of the online courses. And more importantly, also, you consider that online universities now are, lots of them are out there. So with these numerous choices, you have to be careful in terms of making the decision, making your selection. It's important. You don't have to invest your money into a university that later on you're going to regret. In terms, when I talk about regret here, is regretting that your qualification is not recognized. The qualification is not, the degree is not accredited by the accrediting body of that university, of that country where the university is found. We've done a episode where you have fraudulent institutions. They exist in the UK, in the US, and across Europe. So you have to be careful while you're investing your money. Also, it's important that some students would like to have a professional accreditation, which will help them to basically not just scale their own professional experience or in their own profession that they are, but they want to combine the academic part and the professional part. So you really want to do a little bit of research and investigation on the qualification that you'll be taking. It's important that you know. Now, lockdown across Europe has affected many students, or shattered the plans of most professionals who wanted to go back to school or to the regular standard studying method of the bricks and mortars. Things have changed. Things never going to be the same again. So what I'm saying on this channel, we always talk about people to consider. It's a norm at the moment. It's not like something you're considering, but I mean, you want to make a choice that this is what you want to do. You want to start studying online. If you don't know how to study online, what it takes, I would encourage you to watch some of our videos. You will have a better understanding in terms of the techniques, the tools, the tips on how to be successful as an online student. So it's so important. Something more I want to talk about with you today is considering that online learning it's becoming the norms or the standard or the new normal. So to point out, talking about the flexibility. We've made a lot of videos on this channel talking about the flexibility of online learning, which is wonderful. Flexibility could come about you being able to manage your time properly. You may have a very busy work, a busy job, so to say, depending on your profession. Um, Considering that this is something that you're going to be studying, putting in number of hours. Some university will require you to put in at least 20 hours, some up to 25 hours a week. All depends on your experience. More experienced professionals will basically be looking at completing their courses within the time frame. For those who are transitioning to a hopeful new career or in a particular degree courses that they've never studied before, they may have to put in the full 20 to 25 hours a week. It's so important that you know the flexibility could come that you have enough time to go to your work, come back home. Within the weekend, you can study. You can also do a number of things around, interact with your family, do things when you want to. However, there are deadlines. So the fact that it's online doesn't necessarily mean that the qualification is free. Most online courses are not a walk in the park. It's difficult, it's tough. You're going to make sure that you put in enough work, you do enough research, use a library, use the internet, use a textbook, awful lot of things. You need to become a research student. Some will require you to do more projects, assignments, and other things. So you have to combine all of these. However, it is more flexible as compared to the standard way of learning. Something more I'd like to talk about here is the issue of choice. With online courses, you have the opportunity and the chance to select your university of choice, wherever that may be. If your goal and your dream was to study in one of UK's universities, you can do that from wherever around the world you can study from directly. You don't have to travel to come to the UK. UK is in lockdown. United States have COVID issues at the moment. Most of Europe is closed. So there are a number of things you can do. You can just sit from wherever you are around the world. Even if in Europe you are, I mean, you can still stay in your comfort of your own home, make your application, do your research. We did a video on how to search universities' websites, so we encourage you to check that in one of our videos to explain to you what you need to do, how to figure out a university course, where to go to, what pages to look at. So we encourage you to do that. Something also more importantly, you want to understand the admissions process in terms of the online learning. It's important. The fact that it's online doesn't necessarily mean that the admissions process is going to be different or differ from the standard recruitment process or the requirement that's needed. It's the same thing you need to do. You need to provide copies of your certifications. You're going to be writing like a motivation statement or motivation letter, what that is needed for you. The transcript should be in. In most cases, you'll be needed to provide accreditations for those particular degrees if you have the certificate itself, and you will provide references as well. Some universities will demand more references, and others will say maybe one or two, depending on what kinds of qualification you're going in for. Of course, they have a number of work experience years that may be needed for you to go into, and they may require different entry routes. Some may be students who don't have a degree may have another requirement. Those who have degrees may have a smooth entry into the course. So it all depends on what you are looking for, and you want to find out all of this. Do you meet the requirement? Is this something that is in line with what you are looking for? all of this stuff need to be researched by you, going to the website of the university and finding that out. Something very important, you want to check on your budget, and you can pay your fees. It's flexible in terms of the payment. You might have a very good payment structure in place that may help you on how to pay your fees. There are different means of making your international transfer. Wherever you are in the world, you can do your transfer. It's also possible. You want to check on the budget, on how much is needed as a down payment or the installments. You want to ask all of those questions. Go to the website, speak to the universities. All of these are online nowadays, so you don't need to travel to bother yourself moving to those countries, because everywhere is in lockdown at the moment. Things are beginning to open in some countries, but however, you don't want to wait until you want to take advantage of this time and then you go ahead. Something more I wanted to talk about again for those students who are planning on moving forward, taking an online course, following our channel and what we do here. You want to consider the start date. You want to know where you are. You want to start your application early. If you are looking for a university that starts in September, you want to start your application as soon as possible. Depending on your location and depending on the requirement, that may affect your or may delay your application. So the earlier you start the admissions process and providing the documents in terms of your references, your certificate, your transmission, a requirement for English language requirement, it all depends on what country you're coming from and what was your educational background. If you're within Europe, basically there are some standards in terms of you want to study in the UK, you will need a certain level of English to study in the UK. There might have been you having a baccalaureate at a high school that will cover that. Maybe there's an equivalent of the GCSE in the United Kingdom in different ways. So you want to concentrate on that and see if you meet their basic requirement. It's important. Then you know if you can catch up with that particular start date. Something very important also to just know, the duration of the degree, duration of the course. Online courses are basically the same. If you're spending 2 years doing a master's degree on campus, you want to spend the same 2 years doing it online. Some people think that when it's online, they think they could do it in 6 months or just 1 year. Of course, there are qualification or master's courses that may be for 1 year, others will be for 24 months, which is important. That 2 years is the time frame that has been given to meet the needs of the institution. So it's important for you to know that this is so relevant. Something more, while knowing the start date will enable you make an informed decision and help you. And also understanding the duration of your qualification will help you plan carefully to move ahead to completing your studies. Another very important thing will be that you studying online will give you a chance for you to graduate. You could graduate in Essentia, or you could graduate in person by attending the universities the graduation. Most universities that run online courses, you can attend the graduation in those particular countries. So how nice will it be that you started your courses earlier? Then as the pandemic slows down, so to say, then you can attend your graduation in person. Otherwise, you can say that, send my certificate to wherever I am in the world, so I'm going to use it. Finally, this is just what I wanted to have a chat with you. I will be reviewing the next couple of weeks and days, taking qualifications and looking into them. For example, if we want to go into, like, let's say we want to share, like if you want to study in the UK, I'll be doing things like, for example, I will be going deep into exploring some institutions or university's qualification. Let's say you want to study at Portsmouth. At Portsmouth, what will happen is I will just try to share my screen so you get to see what I'm talking about. I shall be going into, for example, for students who will be planning to study with like university in the UK, like Portsmouth University. I shall be working on something more, so that may help you to have a better understanding and give you a clear picture as to how you can benefit studying online. So I shall be walking you through the whole process and showing you how things work on those different websites. So it's important that we shall be taking a different phase on this channel. So for now, I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully you've watched our other videos. Let me know what challenges you are having studying online. If there are things that you want me to look into specifically, please drop me an email. I shall look into that. But more importantly, I want to say that we shall be moving things in a new direction. So I want to thank you for watching. We're looking forward to meeting you in our next episode. We shall also be conducting things like webinars coming up, and also to talk about other things. And we shall be going online soon to do live events and to talk about online learning, online education, the methods, strategies, success stories on how to be successful, how to go about your thing. And we shall provide you more information on the trends in online learning. Now, I want to thank you for joining Education Unpacked. We're looking forward to meeting you again in our next episode. Let us know in the comment section what you think about this general conversation and at what point you are in your decision-making process. We shall be looking forward to talking with you again soon. Bye.